In news from Jamaica, the findings of the West Kingston Commission of Inquiry have been presented to Cabinet by the commissioners headed by retired Barbadian Judge Sir David Simmons. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says a committee has been formed to review the 900-page document which contains 51 recommendations from the commissioners.
The West Kingston report made a total of 51 wide-ranging recommendations, and it was separated into two parts, part 1 and part 2. And in part 1, Mr. Speaker, the commissioners recommended that an apology be made to the people of Western Kingston, that there should be counseling for traumatized persons, but it should be noted, Mr. Speaker, that counseling services started from 2010 and still continues. Further, Mr. Speaker, the Commission recommended that there should be a compensation committee chaired by a retired judge with other attorneys at law skilled in the assessment of damages and compensation to look at compensation for the victims. In addition, Mr. Speaker, the Commission recommended a waiver of the limitation period to allow the victims to pursue legal action against the government, but those actions may well be dealt with by the Compensation Committee.
Mr. Chuck says Part 2 of the recommendations takes into consideration the operation of the security forces and what happens in garrison communities.
It has asked for the administrative reviews of the security forces, the use of weapons systems to be properly documented, the improving of legal and administrative accountability for the use of force, accountability in joint operations, strengthening the oversight of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, oversight of the Jamaica Defences Force involvement in policing operations, tackling and dismantling the garrison phenomena, action on the recommendations of ECLAC, which is the Economic Committee of Latin America and the Caribbean, review and reform of the criminal justice system. But I'm happy to report, Mr. Speaker, the review has already been undertaken and reform is underway. An amendment to the Extradition Act.
The Jamaican Justice Minister says once the document has been perused completely by Cabinet, it will be made available on the Justice Ministry's website. According to Mr. Chuck, the Commission of Inquiry into the operations of the security forces during the incursion of the West Kingston in 2010 cost the government to date $384 million, and he notes there are outstanding invoices.